This week in GTA Online, it's GT week, so you can grab two exciting GT-style vehicles for $0. One that's known for its superb acceleration as well as handling that's reminiscent of modern sports cars, and then the other is a more rally-inspired performer with explosive acceleration as well as excellent off-road as well as on-road grip. And today, we're going to be checking out both at the auto shop and reviewing their customization options, testing their performance out on the track and timing ourselves, and more. And if you'd like either of these, you can add them to your car collection as early as today if you want. So thank you so much for tuning back in, and let's get started. Starting with our first of two vehicles this week, we have the Diamond Casino Podium vehicle, which is the Benefactor Sterling GT. Now you can get it off Legendary Motorsport at a price of $975,000, or get lucky and win it for $0. And this vehicle released with the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 DLC. It's a standout in the sports classics category in GTA Online. This vehicle delivers a superb balance of both excellent acceleration as well as a really respectable top speed. The handling of this car, I would say, mimics modern sports cars very closely, more so than the classic sports cars you'd see in that same class. And with this vehicle, you get substantial grip, minimal oversteer, except when overly speeding into a corner. And overall, the Sterling GT's durability against impacts make it a very reliable option for new players. Visually as well, it draws inspiration from the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, featuring a Grand Tour coupe design with elements akin to the 300 SLR. And after this, while we jump on the track, I'll also talk about some unique history with this car, of something Rockstar did to this car a couple years ago that made it basically invincible. The Sterling GT from Benefactor. What an absolutely beautiful car. I just basically tried to copy the original styling of the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL here. So we went with a brushed black steel, I think it is, for both the primary and the secondary. Very, very monotone, but this is just classic old school Mercedes right here. So let's take this to the track, see how it performs. I can already tell you just from driving it a bunch, it's a fantastic car. All right, so we are at the track. We are going to hit this in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to see, I don't know what time I'm going to set. I set a really fast time on the Flash GT, which you guys will either see before or after this in this video. But when it comes to this vehicle, I'm expecting maybe, I think sub 3 minutes, but I don't know how much quicker. So we're going to take off in 3, 2, 1. Little bit of wheel spin off the line, but still hooks up decently fast. And we are on our way. Now, the first thing I want to talk about before we start talking about performance is in between the Criminal Enterprises update that released at the end of July of 2022 and the LS Drug Wars update that released, mid-December of 2022. So already this was 2.5 to 2 years ago in the game's life cycle. There was a glitch where basically this vehicle was completely impervious to bullets. You could shoot the windows, bulletproof. Shoot the car, bulletproof. Obviously, explosives would blow it up. Sticky bombs, homing launchers, RPGs, grenade launchers, whatever you want. Grenades, normal grenades, I mean, things like that. The vehicle would still blow up. It wasn't officially like an armored vehicle. It was just a glitch where basically Rockstar bugged out the vehicle model, I guess, and it made the entire thing completely bulletproof to normal bullets. Whether it's armor piercing, normal bullets, FMJ. Obviously, explosive rounds, I think, would still blow this thing up, too. I'm actually not too sure about that, because I never tested it. But, nonetheless, this thing was bulletproof. So on next gen, when players were playing, because HSW was still pretty new at the time, you could drive around in the Sterling GT. It was the perfect grinder's vehicle, and also sort of a griefer vehicle in a sense, because of the fact that it was quote-unquote invincible, right, to just, like, normal firepower from guns. You could put the HSW upgrades on it, go, 150, 160 miles an hour in this car, and it was like the perfect vehicle to grind in. And that's what a lot of players were doing at that point in GTA Online's lifecycle. Of course, Rockstar patched that with the LS Drug Wars update, but that's just some neat history with this Benefactor Sterling GT. Besides that, the exhaust note is amazing. It's definitely a top 10 best sounding car in the game, in my opinion, one of my favorites. Pretty stereotypical exhaust when it comes to this kind of car, because there's other cars that sound basically identical. But nonetheless, it sounds beautiful, and that's why I love it so much. And this car has really good performance for its age. This is an old car. This is an old Mercedes, and it handles great. You get great traction, great grip. As I say that, I'm actually starting to like drift here and go off the track. But nonetheless, fast. Top speed is pretty high. I'm on PC. I'm not even using HSW. So if you guys are on next gen, you can apply how special works. Upgrades, of course you have to take that left, dude. I've never seen a car take that left before in any of these videos. But nonetheless, you can make this car even better performing and have even better performance than mine does in this video, because I'm just on PC. I don't have HSW just yet. We are going to get it some point 2025, probably during March when we get the second half of the Agents of Sabotage DLC, you know, the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions. That's when we're going to get the AC-130, the DH-7 Iron Mule, HSW on PC, expanded and enhanced content, things like that. But this car is great. We're going to make a good time. We're going to get under 3 minutes, slower than my other car, but 2 minutes 56 seconds, call it. Maybe 2:57, no, 2:56 I saw on the clock, going halfway through that intersection. This is a quick car for its age. You know, it's not going to win you any races, I don't think, but if you're going to race other cars comparable to this, I'd say the Benefactor Sterling GT is a must-own. The problem is, with this paint job and styling, you can see the sun is just way too reflective. I didn't know that's what was going to happen. I don't like that for the sun, so maybe I'll just use it in the rain and drive around at night, because it's very blinding. Like, look at that. I'm going like sunblind looking at the trunk of this car. For our second vehicle this week, the Vapid Flash GT, priced at $1,675,000 from Legendary Motorsport. It's part of the San Andreas Supersport Series update. This car, of course, you can unlock it by placing top 3 in LS Car Meet Series races for 4 consecutive days in a row this week, so hopefully you've been putting in some time for that. But the Flash GT is an interesting vehicle. It's a versatile rally-inspired sports car known for its very good acceleration. It's all-wheel drive, like I said, great acceleration. It's a competitive choice for both races as well as high-speed missions if you want to take it on those for money grinding. Despite a top speed of only 121 miles an hour, the acceleration is what's going to ensure that you remain a strong contender while you're racing, and the Flash GT is also noted for its really effective braking as well as exceptional handling, so you get good grip across all types of surfaces, whether it's on the tarmac and you're driving through the city, or even off-road if you want to treat this like a rally car. And that's even further enhanced by the nice balanced weight distribution this car has. But you should be cautious of one issue that I have, and that is potential oversteer during aggressive high-speed maneuvers. You'll find this car, we'll talk about it when we jump onto the track, but you'll find this car has some very interesting handling quirks where it works really well, and then sometimes it'll step out on you or understeer and then snap to oversteer, or oversteer and then you start drifting and then you start understeering. It's the weirdest thing ever, so we'll talk about that more. Now, I know this is probably an absolutely insane design for this Vapid Flash GT, but I was kind of going for a Ken Block Ford Focus RS, but obviously I wanted to make different colors, and I was like, you know what? That already looks crazy with all the racing decals, and he's got blue rims on there. So let's just go absolutely all out, and let's just do probably an unorthodox paint job of ultra blue along with yellow because it matches the livery, and then we'll just go with yellow rims on that and change the spoiler. So that's what we're rocking today. Let's send it over to the track. And even without getting started just yet, I can already tell you this car is so finicky to drive. I already actually damaged the front of it, but nonetheless, let's start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Take off, no wheel spin, just grabs and hooks up right off the line. Of course, oh my god, already, it's like you encounter, it's very sharp steering, like you could see how quick I can change direction of the car, but then it just starts understeering after that. It's like a very odd sensation while you're driving. I think this car has engine resistance because you could feel the engine kind of like chugging along. It wants to go faster and get up to higher RPMs, but Rockstar is just limiting it for some reason, and it's like upshifting prematurely because of that, but nonetheless, you have good traction. You got good acceleration. As like a dirt rally car, this thing would be super fun, but right now I have this thing built for the street in terms of like the tire setup and the wheels and everything. I'm pretty sure I'm rocking Dinka SPL rims because they look pretty much like the Ken Block Ford Focus RS wheels that he's got in one of the photos that I could see online. And oh man, I feel like I have to sneeze. If you guys are watching this series for the first time, I don't do any cuts, so there may be like a lot of stuttering and ums and uhs, but I just want to show you the raw performance of this vehicle. And I can tell you so far, the Vapid Flash GT just feels alright. It feels responsive, almost too responsive, and you could see, look at that. It just, engine rev, jammed on the gas, and it didn't want to accelerate. It was like it was stuck in first and it wasn't going any faster. It's very bizarre. The shifting behavior of this vehicle is strange. It understeers and then it starts oversteering. It's not like, I guess it is snap to oversteer. You can initiate some drifts. It's a finicky car. I know some players may be used to it if they've been driving this car a lot. I honestly haven't driven it too much in this game, and I don't even know if I'm going to keep this car in my garage. Not because I just dislike it so much, but because whenever I've used it, like I think there was an exotic exports Flash GT you could drive around, or even if I'm delivering this to a client, I forget if that's one of the cars in rotation, but you know, I never really drive this car. I don't have it stored in any of my garages except for this one, right? And I know I've driven it a bunch in this game, so I've had to use it for like missions and things like that, and it just feels very interesting. Through these long, winding, sweeping turns, it's not bad at all, but you start taking sharp corners and stuff like that, and this car wants to oversteer, understeer. It's like it does it all at the same time. It's very, very strange. But nonetheless, we're at 2 minutes 24 seconds on the clock. We're actually still going to make pretty decent time, even if we did hit a couple cars along the way. We got a little bit of front end damage on both the right and left side of the car. But we actually, wow, this is going to be a quicker car than I thought. I thought after all this it doesn't feel like I'm going that fast while I'm driving it. I'll be 100% honest, but we just made a 2 minute and 44 second time, which is faster than some other faster sports cars I've actually driven just because the handling's worse. So I guess this car stays pretty planted. I don't know what to say. It's such a strange driving experience. Like, out of any car I've done in this series so far, talking about the prize rides or the podium vehicles, things like that, this is definitely one of the more unique cars. I'm not too big of a fan of the front end styling. I wish the grille was just a little bit smaller, like the normal Focus RS, for example. This just looks like a vacuum cleaner catfish about to suck everything up in front of it. So, nonetheless, this is the Vapid Flash GT. Is it worth obtaining? Maybe. With all that out of the way, though, we are going to be wrapping things up right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys all have a fantastic day. Make sure to drop a like if you guys enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Tomorrow I have a huge video coming out on the 15 best weapons you can use in GTA Online. I haven't done like a full best weapons video in this game before, or about this game. I've done a few for Red Dead Online, but I haven't done one for GTA. So definitely, hopefully you guys enjoy that, because worked very hard on it, and there's definitely some good picks of some weapons in case you haven't used them yet. So again, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.